When a client wants me to build an app, I'm not just a developer. I'm the architect, I'm the front end guy, back end guy, DevOps engineer, tester, and the code reviewer as well. So as a solo freelancer, I'm basically wearing 6 different hats. But recently, AI has completely changed my workflow. And today, I'm going to be showing you how exactly I planned and developed this app for one of my recent clients using tools like Cursor for code generation and CodeRabbit for code reviews, since I don't have a senior developer looking over my shoulder. Now, if you're completely new to these tools, let's go on and set up this workflow one by one. So as you can see, I've opened VS Code over here, but we're not going to be using it. We're going to be using Cursor. You might have heard of this code editor a lot. So basically this is built on top of VS Code, and this video is not sponsored by Cursor, by the way. As you can see, the AI code editor, and this is free to use. So let's go on and download it for Windows or Mac if you're using that. So meanwhile it's downloading, let's see. So we have this VS Code like interface, and we have a chat interface on the right side where we can enter our prompts and it will start creating our application. This is nice. There we go. The cursor is downloaded. Let me just go on and install it real quick. All right, there we go. It is installed. Let's go on and quickly log in. Okay, I'm going to continue with Google. All right, there we go. We are logged in. Let's go back. If you're already using VS Code, you can also import your extensions and all from VS Code as well. There we go. Now it's telling you that it has like agent mode, which can build different stuff for you. There's this cursor tab, which will suggest the code for you, or the inline edit to, change your code basically. Okay, let's continue and continue again. Language for AI. I'm just going to choose English. You can choose accordingly. And there we go. We are in. Let's open some project. Just like this, I've opened a folder right here, and now we can successfully start our development. But before that, while we are developing this app or whatever that we're trying to develop using Cursor, AI can hallucinate sometimes as well, right? You might have seen when you are asking ChatGPT for some code, and probably it gives you a super long code, or probably a code which is not that much clean, right? So we would need a tool which will help us in reviewing our code as well, right? So for that, just go to these extensions tab over here. Just like VS Code, we have this extensions tab, and just search CodeRabbit without any spaces and click on right here. Click on install. Now what is CodeRabbit all about? Let's go on and see. So first let me install it. So here it is. This is the CodeRabbit's website, and as you can see, cut code reviews time and bugs in half instantly. And by the way, I've given the link to this in the description down below, so you can click on it and you will land on this page right here. So basically imagine you have a senior developer that is looking over your shoulder 24/7, right? Whatever code you write, this will help you review it and will tell you the best practices and bunch of different stuff. Like if you notice right here, if you have created a PR, it will give you this summary like what this PR is all about, if there's something that you need to improve. So this is done all on GitHub as well as on your code editor, right? I'll show you the extension that we are installing, right? As you can see, it's giving us all of these reviews and all right here. So all right, let's quickly go on and log in, and I'll log in using GitHub. There we go. It is setting it up. Here it is. I am in, and you can see I don't have any current repositories right now. So what I'll do, I'll go back to Cursor, and we would also need to log in right here. So you can see it gives you a prompt, log in to CodeRabbit to get started. Click on login right here and open this up. And since we are already logged in, you can see it has logged it in. I'll click on open link, and there we go. It is logged in successfully right here. And now just one more setup that we need right here. After we have developed our app, we would need to deploy it somewhere, right? And for that, we are going to be using Sevalla. Again, I've given you the link to this in the description down below, and this is also free to get started. So you can see you can deploy and host your application, storages and database. Basically, it provides hosting to any type of application, like it's a front-end app, if it's a back-end app, if it's a database, all types of apps, right? So just click on get started and log into it real quick. I'm gonna again use my GitHub, and there we go. We are in. You can see we have different options right here for static sites, for the applications. Just like this, you can add an application. You can see I've deployed one of my applications right here. And by the way, you get $50 of free credits out of the box when you sign up. So okay, let's continue. Let's finally get started. And I'm back on Cursor. Let's start planning our application. So right here, you can see we have this box for entering the prompt. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So right here, we have this agent mode, right? Which can plan, research and build. So my client, who is a gym trainer, by the way, wanted to get an app built which will help his clients to stay consistent during their workout journey, right? Which will track their workout, probably their diet as well. They can put the entry and, basically track their streaks for it. So he wanted this app with branding of his own gym, right? So we're just gonna build a smaller version of this app, right? Because if I just went on and build the whole app, this video will be hours long. Let's keep the tech stack in Next.js, right? So I'm gonna say create a Next.js app called StreakFit. You can name it whatever, right? For tracking workout consistency, okay? And for the first step, let's go on and set up our project, right? So I'm gonna tell it that set up the project with app router structure, Tailwind CSS for styling, TypeScript configuration, a clean modern design with fitness theme, and a basic folder structure with these components, right? App, lib, types. For the first step, let's just work on our hero section, right? So I'm gonna say create the main layout and home page with a hero section introducing the workout consistency. All right, let's press enter and let's see what happens. I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller. It is generating the command. Okay, and now you can see it is asking me to run this command on the terminal. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm just supposed to click run. Since I am myself a developer, so I can understand what it's trying to do right here and making sure that everything goes well. And you can see it is trying to install our Next.js app right here. And here, if you go to the current directory, you can see inside of this folder, it has created all of these files and it's still going on. So let's wait. All right, now you can see that it is editing our layout.tsx right here and adding the necessary code that it needs automatically all by itself, right? It's creating the page.tsx file right here. So okay, let's wait for it to complete the whole thing and then we'll see. Okay, so it's telling us that it is done. Let's go on and review the changes. Well, you know what, I'll just go on and accept these changes. I'm not gonna spend time reviewing this. So I'll say accept file. Okay, cool. Let's try to run this. So I'll just quickly go to the terminal. Let's switch to this folder and I'll say npm run dev. Okay, so since we only asked it to build the hero section, so it has done that, and I think the image is breaking because I think it has not added any image right here. We can add any image as we want, but let's continue. I'm not really sure how good this code is, right, or how well maintained this code is. So what we can do, we can ask CodeRabbit to review it. So we can go to CodeRabbit right here. So it's first asking us to initialize Git. So okay, let's initialize Git right here, and it can notice the files to review that has been changed right here. Okay, I'm going to click on review all changes and it is starting the review over here. You can see it is setting it up. It's going to be analyzing changes and then it's going to be reviewing the file. So you can see it has set it up. It's analyzing the changes and now it is reviewing the files. Okay, so let's allow it to review it and I'm going to wait. All right, so it has given us some issues. Let's see if I just open this page.tsx. And if I click on it, you can see it has added this comment right here below our code that is asking us to add the functionality to the get started button. Yes, obviously, because this is just a button, right? So we don't need to do anything right here actually. So I can just accept it so that it will add this comment right here. Okay, that's fine. Fix broken internal link. See, right here, we have used hash learn more, but there is no such link inside of our app, right? So it's asking us to fix this. But we will later on be adding this, right? So for now, we can ignore it. But these are genuine concerns that can make to the production app, right? Let's see the layout.tsx. We have added this flex1 right here. So it's telling us mains flex1 never takes effect because body is not a flex container. Yes, that makes sense. So let's accept this change. Okay, cool. So we have resolved all of these potential issues. And you can see it also provides us with something called nitpick that gives us suggestion from small things, right? Like for example, it's asking us to turn the brand span into the link for better schematics and accessibility. So yeah, this is a good suggestion, but you can accept these, like you can work on it according to you, right? Okay, let's move forward. Let's continue building our app. So for my next prompt, I'm going to tell it, let's create the core components for StreakFit. Those four can be a daily check-in component with mark workout complete button, a streak display component showing current streak, a consistency grid like GitHub contributions, and a progress stats component displaying weekly, monthly consistency percentages. We can also ask it to create TypeScript types for workout data structure, a custom hook to manage local storage operations, and utility functions for handling dates and streaks, right? For all the calculations. Let's just give it an idea. We can just say that we can store in local storage as something like this, right? If you don't give it, I think pretty sure it will automatically figure it out. But if you have anything in mind, you can probably provide it right here. Okay, then I'm gonna press enter and let's see what it does. Okay, so it has created this workout.ts file. Let me just make this a little bit smaller. Okay, nice. Now it's creating this date utils function. Okay, now it's working on our hook that we asked it to create. and also the daily check-in component right here. Okay, so it wants to install and like React icons, so I'll just click on run. So it was asking me permission for it, so I allowed it. Let's wait for it to complete this now, and looks like it is done. Let's click on review changes, and it has created all of these files right here again, like page.tsx and stuff. So I'm gonna accept them. All right, then let's go on and see what it gave us. So here we go. This is our app so far, and looks like it has fixed that icon issue. And yeah, I think we have the streak counter right here. Again, keep in mind, this is a very simple app. This is just for your demonstration on how you can go on and build these apps step by step, right? So if I click on mark workout complete, yep, we can see 1 day streak completed, right? And this should have stored it inside of our database, and it is showing us like GitHub like UI right here, right? Obviously we can go on and improve this UI as well. So let's go on and start reviewing the code, right? So again, I'm going to go to the CodeRabbit extension right here and click on review all changes. And now you can see it is considering all of these files that it has created and updated. And it is also showing us all the previous reviews that it has done right here, right? So it keeps the track of all of these things right here. Now, actually what I'm thinking, let's just stop this review right here. If you want, you can continue this. But there is another way of reviewing code using CodeRabbit, and that is directly onto the GitHub, right? So let me show you. If I just go to my terminal and let me push this to GitHub first. So I'll just go to my GitHub account. So I open GitHub right here. Let's create a new repository. Let's say Streak Fit. I think that was the name of our app, right? Streak Fit. I'll create a repository. Let's take this. I'll add the remote origin right here. Press enter. I'll say git add dot so that it can stage everything up. And then I'll say git commit dash m. And right here, I'll say, let's just say streak fit, right? Press enter. There we go. And now I'll say git push origin master and press enter. And our whole code will be pushed to this repository. Let's refresh this. And there we go. Our code is right here inside of our GitHub repository. Now what we can do, we can go to CodeRabbit and click on add repositories. And it will take us to the GitHub. And you can either give permission to select all repositories or selected repository. Like in this case, I'm gonna choose, let's just go for all repositories for now. Install and authorize. And see, it tells you CodeRabbit is now installed on the repositories you've chosen. Okay, let's click on repositories right here. And I'll just search streak fit. Yes, there it is. So I'll click on this repository right here. If you want, you can change the repository settings over here as well. Like if you want to add like automatic review over here, you can enable or disable it as well. Different checks according to you, right? There are a bunch of different things if you want to configure right here. Let's go back to our repository streakfit and let's try to create a PR right here. Now let's suppose inside of this project, I've created a separate branch right here. So I'm going to be creating a separate branch. Let's click on over here and say development, right? Create new branch right here. Okay. Now let's try to push some code over here. So I'm going to be adding one more prompt, which will say implement the workout tracking logic. So we're going to complete the use workout data hook with functions, all of these functions right here. This is just an example, right? You can put whatever prompt right here, add state management to handle these things, handle edge cases like blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go. And let's try to allow it to work on this feature. All right, so looks like it's done. So what I'll do now is I will try to push it to this development branch, right? So I'll say git add dot, then I'll say git commit dash m, let's say update workout hook, and then I'll say git push origin, and I'll push it to the development branch, right? Okay, so this is now inside of our development branch. Now if I go back to GitHub right here, right, and you can see compare and pull request. So let's create a pull request over here. Update workout hook from development to master, right? I'll click on create pull request. And now you can see CodeRabbit has taken over. It says currently processing new changes inside of this PR. This may take a few minutes. Please wait. Okay. It shows me the commits. So this is the commit that I've made and file selected for processing. These two are the files that has been changed, right? So let's wait for it to finish this processing. All right, there we go. This is done. And let's see what it has done right here. Right. Okay. So it's given us this summary. Okay, that's fine. You can read it if you want. But right here, you can see, just like the way a senior developer operates, it has provided us a different comments right here, right? First of all, it has given us the walkthrough. What was the estimated code review effort? It has given a small poem right here as well. It has given us some warning and notes. Okay, that's fine. But as we move forward, it has posted some comments right here inside of our use workout data and page tsx. We will go on and review it as well. And it has highlighted a potential issue right here with this date, right? To fix the time zone bug and all of those things, right? Okay, that's fine. Let's go to our commits, right? And this was our commit. So if I scroll down, you can add a comment right here as well, right? So this, like CodeRabbit, has added the comments right here that were supposed to fix the time zone bug and add input validation. If you want, you can reply to it as well right here. You can see here's another one of these. So yeah, this is super helpful. If you're a solo freelancer, tools like this are absolutely a lifesaver, right? So okay, no worries. Cool then. So you got this idea how we can, create our apps, how we can do code reviews. Obviously, this is a very simple example, but there is endless possibilities that you can do with these tools, right? So I'm just gonna merge the pull request. And now let me show you how you can go on and deploy this app on Sevalla right here, right? So I'm gonna click on add service and click on application. Now, again, it will ask you GitHub repository, or if you have a Docker image as well, you can add this right here, right? So I'm gonna go on with the Git repository. I'll click on connect GitHub. There we go. It has connected. Now we can choose this streak fit right here. Let's choose master branch name, whatever you want to keep it over here. Location, you can choose the location accordingly. I'm going to choose Delhi, India. You can choose resources. So for now, I'm just going to choose this hobby project. And again, keep in mind, we do have $50 balance inside of our account. So we don't need to worry about pricing and stuff right now. And now simply click on create and deploy. And let's see what happens. Now, few things that I really like about Sevalla is that it is very easy to use. Plus, it gives us the options to configure the complete CI/CD pipeline along with the Docker images that I already showed you. And it supports many tech stack and even backend and databases and all as well, right? So right here, you can see it is building it. If you go to this overview right here, it will give you the overview of your application, what is enabled right here. If you want to enable CDN, edge caching, all of these things, you can do them from right here. You can connect services if you want from over here as well, right? So there are a lot of things that come out of the box from Sevalla. So let's wait. Let's go to the deployment and let's see if it gets successfully deployed or not. And there we go. It is deployed. Awesome. Let's click on visit app and you can see it is deployed on Sevalla's domain right now. And let's try to click on mark workout complete. There we go. It is working fine. Nice. You can set if you have any environment variables right here, just like you might have used other providers like Vercel or Netlify, right? We can come over here in the domain. We can update this domain. Let's just say streak fit. Now you can see it looks much better, right? If you have any of your custom domain, you can add them right here as well. And you can monitor the real-time analytics of your application over here in the analytics tab, along with any logs if you have any errors or whatever, right? So everything like this is a complete package, right? I would highly encourage you guys to go on and explore it and deploy your backends and front ends on Sevalla. It is a complete DevOps solution for you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this video and if you want to see more such videos, and subscribe to the channel for more such awesome tutorials.